A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a notable shift from the usual rhetoric surrounding national security, General Dan Caine, the recently appointed chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, made headlines during a Senate Appropriations subcommittee hearing. Caine, who has largely kept a low profile since his appointment in April, broke away from President Donald Trump's characterization of the threats posed by Russia and the civil unrest in Los Angeles. His comments, although measured, carry significant weight given his position as the nation's top military officer. Many Democrats and moderate Republicans had feared that Caine would align closely with the president's often controversial statements, particularly those that prioritize political narratives over factual assessments. However, Caine's remarks suggest a commitment to a more cautious and realistic approach to national security issues. The current political landscape is rife with tension, particularly as the Senate is reviewing a Republican megabill that proposes substantial tax cuts for high earners while simultaneously slashing benefits for the impoverished. Critics argue that this approach will exacerbate existing inequalities, further polarizing the nation. As discussions continue, the implications of such legislation remain a hot topic among both lawmakers and the general public. Meanwhile, the economic fallout from the ongoing trade tensions is becoming increasingly apparent. The New York Times reported that tariffs on common household appliances, such as washing machines and refrigerators, are set to expand, impacting consumers and manufacturers alike. This decision reflects the administration's broader strategy of leveraging tariffs as a tool for negotiating trade agreements, yet it raises concerns about the potential for increased costs for everyday Americans. Internationally, tensions are also escalating. With a sixth round of talks between the Trump administration and Iranian officials scheduled in Oman, Israeli and U.S. officials have voiced warnings about the potential consequences of these negotiations. The geopolitical landscape is precarious, especially with Israel conducting operations aimed at curtailing Iran's nuclear capabilities, which are reportedly far from over, according to reports from the Wall Street Journal. In a surprising turn of events, former Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger has publicly contested the media's portrayal of Los Angeles as a war zone, amid the deployment of troops by President Trump. Schwarzenegger's comments highlight the disparity between media narratives and the lived experiences of residents, suggesting that the situation may not be as dire as it appears. On the legal front, a federal appeals court recently denied President Trump's request to revisit a jury verdict that found him liable for sexually assaulting advice columnist Jean Carroll. This ruling adds to the growing list of legal challenges facing the former president as he navigates multiple lawsuits and investigations. Amidst these controversies, Trump acknowledged the adverse effects of his immigration policies on various industries, particularly agriculture and hospitality. This admission marks a rare moment of concession from the president, who typically defends his policies vigorously. The impact of these policies is becoming increasingly evident, with many businesses struggling to adapt to the new realities imposed by immigration enforcement. Polls indicate that public sentiment is divided regarding the protests against immigration raids, with many Americans expressing disapproval of the president's handling of the situation. As Trump prepares for a National Security Council meeting following recent Israeli strikes on Iran, the stakes are higher than ever. The political climate is further complicated by an escalating feud between Senator Rand Paul and Trump's border officials, which could hinder Congress's efforts to pass key legislation. Additionally, Representative Warren Davidson's controversial remarks linking Senator Alex Padilla to Mexican drug cartels have sparked outrage, illustrating the intense partisan divisions that characterize today's political discourse. As the nation grapples with these pressing issues, it is clear that the intersection of military strategy, domestic policy, and international relations will continue to shape the American landscape. General Caine's willingness to challenge the president's narrative signals a potential shift in the military's role in political discourse, highlighting the importance of truth and accountability in national security matters. With critical decisions looming in Congress and on the international stage, the coming weeks will be crucial in determining the future direction of U.S. policy both at home and abroad. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.